This conference will now be recorded.
So we are discussing about wrapper class yesterday, right? So any of you are able to complete that? So wrapper class is used to define your own data type. Am I right? So how do you define a data type? Wrapper class. The wrapper class is a class contains a data members. It is used to define user-defined data type. So using wrapper class, we make different other data types together one data type. So wrapper class WC. This is a variable of class type. So this is nothing but your wrapper class. So why we are going for wrapper class? In order to create our own a data type where I can create a list of my user defined data type. Okay, so an example, I would like to bring a checkbox along with the account record in my UI. I like to bring the checkbox along with the Salesforce object record in my UI. So I have this is a checkbox. Right. I need to develop the page similar to this. I need to develop the page similar to this. And I'm going to have an update button. And only the selected records need to be updated. Only the selected record needs to be updated. If I have a value here, something like this, right? So I have data like this. Suppose I modify any data here, and select that record and click update. Only the selected row needs to be modified. Only selected row needs to be modified. In this case, in this case, I have I have additional field along with the account record. An additional field is a checkbox field. An additional field is a checkbox field, right? So how do you bring this table? The table can be brought by using a looping component data table or page break table. So the data table will refer the value attribute, and where we are going to refer the list of a predefined data type, right? We know how to display a table of list of integer, list of string, or list of account. Am I right? But now I have a list of an account record along with the checkbox. So it is not going to be a list of predefined data type. It's not going to be a list of predefined data type. It's a list of the user defined data type where I'm going to have a flag variable along with the account variable. That's the reason I declared a wrapper class. So now this list is going to be a list of account wrapper. The list is going to be a list of account wrapper, not just a list of account record. The reason, once the user selected the flag variable in the collection, the flag variable in the collection is going to be true. So then we'll iterate that collection and select only the record where the flag is true, where the boolean type variable is true, so that I can update only the selected records in my Apex. The reason why you go for wrapper class. So wherever you have a scenarios to build the collections that has different other now variables from different objects, or you make your own collection, then you go for wrapper class. Wrapper class is helping you to define your own data type. You will be able to follow this. So we'll do this scenario now. So we create one class and declare the list of account wrapper, and we created two instances. Then we added that instance into the list of wrapper. So this is my one instance, account wrapper AW1, and we initialize the variables a flag equal to false. And for account, we need to create one instance of account record and initialize. You will follow this? Okay, so let's create a Visual Force page. Right, what are you going to iterate here? Wrap list. Will follow this? Okay. Now we're going to refer. So one instance of the wrapper list is nothing but account wrapper. Am I right? One element is account wrapper. So here AW is going to have one instance in this collection. And AW, the one instance variable name is AW1. Okay, so here it's going to be AW. Got me? So how to refer the variable, a flag variable here? AW dot flag. So flag is going to be, I'm going to display the flag in the form of input checkbox. Then what do you have to do? We know like the column, for inside the column, we need to use the input. It's a kind of boolean variable, right? So you have to use input checkbox. You follow this? Input checkbox. So I do not need any header value for this. If you want, I can give the header value. Select. Input checkbox. Here is the wrap list. What is it show here? The value is already okay. Why I get only two checkboxes here? Because we had only two elements into this collection. You will follow this? I had only two elements into this collection. Input field or input text box or whatever. AW dot A dot name. AW dot A dot name. Right, ma? Will you follow this? No, no lead. Anything? Anything? Industry. Industry. Another thing. So I get the table like this. You will be able to follow this? This is what I just give an example of wrapper class, how to bring, how to create a list of wrapper and add some element and display it in the visual full space. Okay, right. Now we'll enhance this example into our use case. Okay, into our actual use case. Right. This is my apex and this my VF. Now we are going for a DML example where I'm going to have a page like this. Okay, listen, I'm going to have a page like this. So we display the table like this, then user modify the record. Only the modified record needs to be updated in the Apex side. So we are going to replicate the same example, but we are going to enhance this. Okay, I make the example as right. So DML example 3, and this time we are going to display the table with the data. Right? What data? From the database. Okay. In the wrapper example, we just created inserted the null element, but now we are going to populate a account list with actually with the data from the object, account data from the Salesforce database. So just select the data first. Select so whatever the data you need, name, rating, industry, from account. Okay, if you like to limit the result, then limit it, or else I can leave that. So list of count ACC list. So now I have the data. The next step, I need to build this wrapper list with this data, right? So we're going for each loop. Got me? So we're going to build this. So we are going to build this. First, I have to create one instance of account wrapper. AW dot flag variable. I'm making it as false. Then AW dot A equal to this account variable. Got me? We need not populate individual field because a variable A of account wrapper is itself a variable of account type. So I can directly move the variable one, right? One iteration, one element from this list I can directly move here. So in one iteration, I able to create account wrapper with data flag equal to false and aw.a equal to account data from the database. So what next I have to do? I have to just add the element. That's all in the loop. A. People are good with this. Everyone is able to follow this. So what happens finally? I'll have records into this wrapper. I'll have records in this wrapper. Right. It's not A, it's AW. Am I right? We'll follow this. Then we're going to use this variable and display the data in edit mode. So it's going to be DML underscore. Create this page. What I got now? I got the records with the data. You will follow this. It's clear to all of you. So we will follow this. How did you build this? We just pull the record from the database and build this list of account wrapper. Now my next requirement is I select and I modify anything and click on update button where I'm going to write, which I'm going to insert. Then only the selected rows needs to be modified. Right. We'll see that. So let me update. Right. I got an update button. Okay. So what needs to be done when update button is called? Update. We'll follow this. So update method I included. You can give any name here. Maybe update is a keyword. Okay, it's a because it's a DML statement, we cannot use this. Right. So here we are going to update only the selected rows. So how do you find the selected rows? We need to iterate this wrapper list. So what should be on the left side? Account wrapper. We are going to iterate this. So only the selected rows we are going to So only if the flag variable is true, then we are going to update the record. So there may be one or more than one record the user may select. The user may select one or more than one record. In that case, from this, we are going to make one more collection. From this, we are going to make one more collection. So what type of collection? We are going to update the account record. So we are going to make an account record collection. ACC updates equal to new list of account. So here dot and what are you going to add here? When the flag is true, then add the account record. AW.A. AW.A is nothing but account. AW.A is the account member of this wrapper class. An account member of this wrapper class, right? Account record. So just add all the account records. Then outside your for loop, you update your ACC updates. You have to do this, right? So when you're going to update, only if the user selected the rows, right? Sometimes the user may not select any rows, then this will have null. So null against null variable, I cannot run my DML statement. So to avoid error here, issue here, I just say update only if the size is only if the element the list contains any record. We'll follow this. How did you bring this? We'll follow this. So let's call this method.
Sir, in the class in 19th line, I did not understand.
I don't get you, ma.
In Apex class, in 19th line, if you write the if class, right? If dot a dot flag means what is it will check? It will check for true or it will check for false.
By default, it's it's a boolean variable, right? So when you don't use any, it's equivalent to true. It's true. When you go with not equal true, it means it will check for false. Now it's a boolean variable, so directly refer like this. It's basically true. Whatever given here, it's check for the true. Instead of doing like this, you can just refer the boolean variable as it is. It is like
Okay.
a true, equivalent to true.
Okay.
How will you do this function when the screen does not have a checkbox? Screen does not have a checkbox. I have a checkbox, ma. What is your question? Right, now I'm making this hot. I give some value here and select the rows here and update. So I go to the, let's verify this. Capital limited, I guess. Modified hot this date. We'll follow this at Teflon. Update. Modified. Multiple rows I like to modify. Right? Multiple rows I got to modify. Okay. Just date right here. So the modified rows are appearing in the recent item at the top, right? That's modified. Okay. Right. Once modified, I would like to refresh the table with the modified value. Once modified, I would like to refresh the table with the modified value and deselect the checkbox. So what do you have to do? So you have to once it's done, okay, we are going to just refresh this block instead of refresh the page, re-render EB.
Ranjit, I have a question like regarding the question I typed in.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you take out these checkboxes from the screen,
Hmm.
let's say you are displaying this same data and the user just modifies some of the data on some rows, and then
Hmm.
we should have the screen should have the intelligence to, okay, what rows changed and update those instead of I pick up those what I don't want to pick up those checkboxes.
Right. We are going to enhance this application, Vijay. That's the reason I took this example. If that
Okay,
is the
okay,
case, we have to go with standard set controller. That will be covered later. Okay.
okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Fine. Only the where the rows modified, that we have an inbuilt standard set controller have an option, have an ability to identify these selected modified rows. So that's a different perspective of example. Okay. So now we are covering the basics. We are going to enhance this application into different form. We'll see that.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Because this template of wrapper class example will help you to solve many other problems. Okay, that's the reason we took this wrapper class example. It's more important to understand how do you build the wrapper class scenarios with help of wrapper class, right? So now let's once it is updated, I would like to deselect the checkbox. So it's happening. Okay, just made it update account. Okay, modified. Yes, it's modified. But what my expectation is, we need to deselect this. How to do that? All you have to do is once it is okay. So I modify something and update. It's gone and Teflon. Teflon is a recent record we modified. All right. I hope you will able to follow this. We'll enhance this. Sorry. We'll enhance this application into for different scenario. Right. Now I need a drop down field. I need a drop down field here. Okay, which is going to show the value of the different ratings here. So this is a rating field which is going to display in the form of drop down. So I may have different types of rating. Right now we have three types of rating: hot, warm, cold. Hot, warm, cold. So what is my requirement here? What is my requirement here? I select the ratings here. Okay, I select the ratings here. Then I select the rows here. I select the rating and I select the rows here. So what should happen now? Only the only the selected rows, only for the selected rows, my rating should be applied. Only for the selected rows, my rating should be applied. So I selected rows here. I selected only the rows, this rows and this row. Then only a selected rows should be hot. Will follow this. So only for the selected rows, the rating should be applied. So this is a table where I'm going to modify the rating. This is a table where I'm going to modify the rating only for the selected rows. You select the rows and change the options here. Only the selected rows. Now the rating should be modified. Then click on update, and again the selected rows alone needs to be modified in my Apex environment. You'll follow this, right? So now we added just one changes in this previous screen. What the changes? I need to include this rating option. How we are going to bring the drop down of the drop down field in your Visual Force page? How will you bring a drop down field? By using select option, right? Select option in your Apex side, and we can use a select list in your Visual Force page side. So you're going to build the options, no, the rating options using select option. How you're going to build this? We'll follow this. You know, select list is used to bring the drop down field. Okay, so here I need to bring the options here. We are going to build the options for the select list. You will know this how to do. Public list of select option. So this is the one we are going to refer in the right. Where are you going to refer this? Select options value. So we need to build the options. Right now, no option has been built. So it's still empty only, right? So you need to build the options here. So we are going to build the options here. We're going to build options with the help of select option class. Is a predefined class which has a two argument mandatorily. And the first one is a value, and the next one is a label. All right. So once you created one options, we are going to add into this collection. I got an option here, right? So in order to build multiple options, I need to repeat this. Suppose rating, right? Rating has 10 different options. So 10 repeated select option I have to repeat. Am I right? So instead, we can optimize this in a different form. So, okay. Like this, we can do this. So I will build the options here now. Right now, more than one options are displayed. How to display only one option? Right, I got a drop down now. Okay, so what is my next requirement? Display the account details here. So that selected rows alone, I'm going to apply the rating field. The rating option value, I'm going to apply the selected rows here. So for that, first we need to display the account table here. So it's similar to our previous example, right? So here we are not going to have a checkbox because okay, checkbox is required only for selected rows, right? So we are going with the same wrapper class concept here. So we right, you see here wrapper class is declared once, but I'm using it in multiple places, right? Because it helps you to achieve reusability. I'm using it in multiple places. Okay, so this to build the options. Next is to build your table. I build my table. The table is built with the data from the account object. Next, we are going to display the table. So we are going to use a similar block here. So below this, I'm just put my block. Okay. Okay. I remove the update rows as of now. Okay. I got the table like this. I got the table like this. Okay. Now I do not want this to be in edit screen. This I would like to display only in a read only mode. I would like to display this only in a read only mode. Okay. I do not because we are not going to make any changes here because I'm going to apply only the rating field only for the selected rows. In that case, right? I do not want user to modify anything here. So let's display this in the read only mode. So what do you have to do? Only input checkbox can be in editable mode. So rest of the fields can be in read only mode. I do not need this. We'll follow this. Ratings, mouse and images. I get the dialog like this. Now only the modified rows needs to be updated here. That's it. If I make it cold, only these two records should be modified to cold. We'll follow this. Okay, so for a better UI, remove the page block. Right, we got a table like this. Okay, now the next enhancement is how to update only the selected rows, right? So first thing we need to apply it. We need to apply to the selected rows, and how to get these selected values in the rating to the apex side. How we are going to get the values, the selected rows here, selected option here from here. So we have value attribute here. So user is going to select only one option here because it's a single dimensional pick list. So we're going to get in the form of string. So this is a variable we are going to refer in the value attributes of select list. All right. What is the column here? Break. And then, right. So now the user, whatever the user option selected here, that will be that will be passed to the selected string now. Then when I click on update button, I need to assign all the rating values to the selected rows here. So we are going to include a method here, public void update rows. Right. We are going to update only for the selected rows. I'm going to pass the selected value, the rating value, right? So it's going to be same. It's going to be same here. Okay. Right. Let's do this. ACC wrap list. If flag is true, then aw dot a dot a dot rating equal to what is that? Selected. That's it. No other big changes here. Okay. And you're also going to make the flag to false. Once it is processed, then you're making it to initialize the flag to false again. Okay. Right. When you do this, you're going to collect the records that needs to be updated. So stop count. Then finally outside the for loop, you're going to check and then DML update. All right. What is that? From here, Okay, I need to pass AW dot A. Right? We need to pass only the account variable here. Okay, if you could do this, so let's call that method update rows, right? And then excuse me, here under this table, let's see what happens. It's my table. Only the selected rows I need to modify to code. It's modified. And the selected rows, like to make it one. It's modified. Do we follow this? Any question on this? You will understand, all of you, how we enhance this application and how to build the drop down. How to build the drop down.
Ranjit, once you complete, can you walk through once?
So this is just an enhanced application of your previous example. Okay. So what we did, we're trying to display a drop down field with different options. We're trying to display a drop down field with different options. So we build these select options by using the predefined class select option. So this is a class which is used to build the options in your Apex side, a list of select option Apex side. In your Visualforce side, there is a related component. Your select option and Apex colon select options going to work together because the value attribute is going to accept a list of select option only. The value attribute in select options is going to accept a list of select option type only. Okay, so select options and list of select option is going to work together. So using which we are right to build the options, we hardcode the value. Okay, in case if you like to bring the options from object, because I'm not sure what are the options are available in my rating. In future, if you modify the rating field in your object definition, adding more no ratings and remove some ratings, then that needs to be handled with a different programming called schema programming. The schema programming is the part where you will able to get the definitions of the object, definitions of the field. Okay, so using schema programming, I can able to get whatever the options that is there in the definition of the table. Okay, so that's going to be another topic we'll discuss in down the line. How to build the schema programming, how to build your application using schema programming. Now we are going with hard-coded value, but we are optimized to some way because instead of repeating the select option instance with the hard-coded value, we build in terms of initializing the string, and then from the string we iterate the value and build each instance of your select option class, select option variable. Okay, then add it, then we refer this in select list. Then this one is going to be your the regular things, how you build your wrapper class. Wrapper class is required. Wrapper class is required. Okay, because only for the selected rows I need to modify the options. Only for the selected rows, I need to modify the options and click on update. That needs to be updated. Okay, so that's the reason we use the wrapper class. And here, only for the selected rows, I'm going to apply the rating field, new rating field. So how did we get the new rating field? From the select list, we have value attribute. Value attribute is used to receive the option selected by the user. Okay, so this is going to be a string value. So using string value, I'm able to, it's a get set variable. So we got it and iterate and modify the selected rows alone. Okay. Can you follow this? Right. So next thing, this is how I display my table. Right. So this is my table. So now I'd like to get rid of this button. I'd like to get rid of this button. Okay. So what I like to do, once a user select the rows, whatever number of rows the user select, whatever the number of rows user select, okay, and we select the drop down, automatically the update should happen. I do not want to call the controller method on button click. I do not want to call the controller method on button click. Instead, I select the rows and choose the option, rating option. The selected rows needs to be modified. Okay, instead of going with the update option here. People know how to do this. What is the key point here? Anyway, the update needs to be happen in your Apex side only. But now the method needs to be called not through button click. The update rows method is going to be called not through button click, but on change of the option. On change of this option, this method I'm going to call on change of the option. Got me? So upload rows method we are going to call on change of the rating option. How we are going to call the controller method on change option? On change option, we are going to use action support. People remember this? Action support. The event is going to be on change event. The event is going to be on change event, and on change of the event, we are going to call the method, controller method, update rows. Right? So this is a component. This is a component in Visual Force page, which is used to add an asynchronous functionality to another component. It means it's going to make an Ajax call. Ajax call means what? Ajax means asynchronous JavaScript functionality. Asynchronous JavaScript functionality. It means we are not going to log the entire resource. We are just making a making a thread, making a separate action. We are just invoking a separate actions on change of any event you can refer on button click, okay, on button click or on change, on mouse over. So you're going with on change event. When option is changed, then automatically the controller method is going to be called. From which component? From the select list component. Apex colon select list. So select list is not the action component. Okay, select list is not an action component, but by using action support component, we are converting this select list component as an action component. We are making this select list component as an action component, right? Usually, how will you call a controller method? By click on a button, or by click on a custom link, I can call a controller method. Your custom link and custom button are action components. We need not add any support to that component. But what about select list? Selected is a kind of input component which will show you a drop down options. This is not your action component, but we are adding a support. What support? Action support to this component by using a component called action support. Okay, so when we are going to call the controller method based on the event, on change event, and which method? Action equal to update rows. You will follow this. So shall we enhance this example? Good to all of you.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Clear.
Okay, I can use the same controller method here as well. I need not change the controller method. Okay, only thing I'm going to get rid of this command button, and I'm going to make this select list a kind of action component. So as a child to this select list, we're going to add a action support. All right. So event, action, the two important attributes, on change and update rows and re-render delete. Once the process is done, then control back to the UI client and refresh only the part of the page. The same example, but we get rid of that update button. It's modified. Right. You follow this? How did you call the controller method? Right. So this can be enhanced further. Only selected rows needs to be deleted. Okay, you can have a delete button here. You can have a delete button here, and in your controller side, you can have just the delete DML statement. Right? Your controller side, you're going to have a delete DML statement. So this can be enhanced to any form. Got me? So the delete, okay, your insert, update. Okay, so these scenarios we can enhance. With this in wrapper class, we used to build the table with a different data type. So why we use wrapper class? People, I hope you got a clarity. Okay, so these are the DMLs. What are other DMLs we can cover? Right. So before I go with another DML, uh, let's take a quick example of you know I would like to create a table. I would like to create a table with I can go with the first one. DML1, DML2. Okay. Right. This was a previous example we did. Okay. So we are trying to insert account and we add rows here and added multiple contacts for the account. Okay. We are going to enhance this example quickly. Now just to cover one quick scenario. when we are trying to insert an account, I need to check whether is there any duplicate record in the same account name. Is there any record already existing in the database with the same name? If it is, then I would like to throw a message here saying like a duplicate account found. Okay, I like to display error message here, a duplicate account found. People know how to do this. We're going to enhance this example, right? So let me take a similar Apex class and give me example 6. Okay, and it's the same UI. UI 6. Okay, similar UI, but requirement is when I try to save, the duplicate account needs to be found. If it is, then display error message, don't proceed. Else, I can, right? As usual, it's you proceed inserting contact account, then contact, right? So come down to the Apex side. Before inserting, I need to verify the duplicates, right? Before inserting, I need to verify the duplicates. Select. How to find out if more than one occurrence there in the object? Will remember count of account where name equal to a dot name. So why we use a colon here? Because it's a variable other than your object field. Then you have to prefix that with colon. It makes sense to all of you, right? If count is greater than 0, then what we are supposed to do? We need to display a message. So we already seen it how to pass the message, right? So we're going to do this similar thing here. Okay, similar thing here, and this time it's going to be a error or okay, you can see yeah, it's error because we cannot proceed further, right? Error and duplicate found in the name plus a dot name, right? So okay, we're trying to insert a similar account. Duplicate found. Okay, record field missing. What happens here? It's not come out. It's basically it's did this and goes here. It did and goes here. So okay, you have to put everything else in the else part. All right. It should be successfully inserted. How to verify this? Just refer this. I get one more records here. Right. Just a quick example of handling the duplicates, right? So once record inserted, you can also initialize this. You can enhance it. Do you follow this?
Sir, can you explain that syntax for adding messages, sir? Apex pages dot message syntax.
It is just two statements you have to include. No, this has been discussed yesterday itself also. So you have to include two statements, right? So the rule is you're going to create an instance of a class message belongs to namespace apex pages. It requires two arguments. One is to set the severity of the message. Okay, what is the look and feel of the message? If it is successful, it should be green highlighted. Okay, and if it is a error, it should be red highlighted. So that kind of severity you are going to set here by going with the a variables belongs to the class, and then your own message in the form of string, and then add that instance to the add message method of a class apex pages. Okay, apex pages here is a namespace, but here is a class. By seeing the format, you will be able to understand which is a namespace, which is a class. Okay, so it's a static method belongs to this predefined class. Okay, it's an argument. It's a method require an argument of message class type. So we pass this argument, and rule 2 is in a Visual Force side, page side, you need to include this component. That's it. Now you can communicate. Now, whatever the message you now handle in your Apex side will be thrown in the Visual Force page. Got me?
Thank you.
Right. So, okay. Similarly, we have updates means statement upset, okay, and match. Right? We have a upset and match. Upset is a statement which is used to insert new record and update existing record in the same DML statement. It means I have I have some collections of records. Okay, the syntax here is basically upset A, or you can go object variable, or you can go with object list. It works for both. Okay, let's take a quick example here. How the upset is working. I have an account. So what about this? I'm creating a new. Okay. Right, and then Okay, some existing record I pull. Maybe I go with capital limited 11. Three dot annual revenue equal to value given. Okay, so right. So how many records I have? I have 4 records. So now I'm making one collection. Upsert ACC list. Yeah. All of you, could you please try this example for 5 to 10 minutes time period? We can again continue with 5 minutes, just 5 minutes. Okay, just try this example. We can again continue for another 15 to 20 minutes. People okay with this? So hereafter we'll connect for again additional 15 to 20 minutes after the 5 minutes break by this time, so that we can cover some, we can proceed further to the syllabus. Got me? Just 5 minutes break. Just refer this example. Refer the example, implement. In 5 minutes we'll continue this. I put a
Okay,
mute. Fine.
Okay. Ranjit sir. Ranjit, are you there?
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so so what happens here in the case of upset, the new records which doesn't have ID, right? ID field, which doesn't have ID field will get inserted, and record which has ID, it means is an existing record, right? It's an existing record which will get updated now. Okay, so A3 should be updated, and A1, A2, A4 should get inserted. That's what we are upset. In upset statement, in one statement, we are able to do both new record insertion as well as updating the existing record. We will follow this. So I have a capital limited 11, no annual revenue. Okay, now we are going to do the, do this. So these 3 records, upset test 1, 2, and 3 should be inserted. And this must be updated with annual revenue, right? And the other 3 records must be inserted. You follow this? How the upside works? And merge records, right? The merging statement is used to merge the duplicate record into one. It merges the duplicate records into one, and okay, the merge actually does 2 different things. One is it merges the duplicate record into one, copy the child records from the duplicated record into the merged record. It means we are making 2 different, see maximum how many records you can merge. Maximum you can merge only 3 records. We can merge only 3 records, not more than that. Got me? The 3 records into 1 record. So we, and if this, you are making a 3 records into 1, right? So that 3 records has some any child records it has. Those child records will be copied to the final merged one. The final merged one is going to have all the child records copied, and then what it's going to do, it will delete the duplicated record. Right, you will understand better, you will get a more clarity when you see the syntax and the demo. Okay, so merge, say variable 1, variable 2, variable 3. Maximum you can go with 3 variables. Okay, so these 3 records is going to be merged into 1. So you can say this is a master variable. So these 2 duplicated records, okay, is merged into 1. And if there are any child records for this record, okay, then it will be copied to the master variable 1, record 1, and then var1 and var2 will be deleted. For example, we are going to merge 3 account record, A1, A2, A3. A2, A3 will be merged in the sense all the child records will be copied to the first master variable, and then V2 and variable 2 and variable 3 will be deleted. It goes to the recycle bin. It goes to the recycle bin. Listen here. Listen the example here. Account A1 equal to new. That's 1. Right? So I have like this. See, we're preparing the test data now. Okay, we are just preparing the test data now. I'm not started the demo for merge yet. We're just preparing the test data. We'll follow this.
So in the A3, the rating is warm, right?
This issue. All right. Okay. So now we're going to prepare the test data. Just a test data we're preparing. Okay. So let's go and verify. I have 3 accounts. Okay. So this is a right account which doesn't have any contact, and I have 2 accounts now with some contact, capital limited and capital info. Okay, right. Let's add. Okay, if you like to add one more contact, we can add. We can add here. No, for info, I'm adding one more contact. You follow this? I'm going to add one more contact. Something like this. Right. So I have 2 contacts for account. I have 1 contact for this account. Now we are going to merge these 3 account. We are going to merge these 3 account. Okay, and we are going to merge this into 1. So how we are going to do this? We are going to merge this into 1. So what I'm going to do is in here. Account A1 equal to I select. Okay, from name equal to capital info. What is that? Capital info solutions. Okay, sorry, account. Capital info solution is a master account. I would like to make this into 1. So account 1, and then my next one is capital info, and next one is capital limited. Right. Merge A1, A2, A3. So what I'm expecting here, what will happen here? These 2 records the child information from these 2 records will be copied to the A1. The first variable is recognized as a master variable. The rest of the 2 is going to be merged with A1 in terms of copying all the child records from this account. A2 and A3 will be copied to the A1, and A2, A3 will get deleted. It goes to the recycle bin. Okay, it goes to the recycle bin. Right. The thing is, list of account minute list. Only we can do this. Yes. When you're going with, say, maximum only 3 records you can merge, but if you're going with just 1 record you're going to merge, you can do like this. Merge A1, A2. Okay. If you're going with more than 1 record, I mean maximum 2 records, 2 more records, then you're going with list. You're going to refer with the list. Now what will happen if you go to the kept info solution? Okay, the contacts are what about okay, what happens here? This is the list. A2, A3 should be merged. A1 in right direction here. I don't think so. Okay. Three rows, one DML. Yes, it will be. Yes, capital info cat. Okay. Alright. Capital info solution. Okay. Right. It's copied. Right. The contacts has been copied. So what happens here? It was working as expected only, right? Okay. Right. I go with the two records so that I get more clarity on this. Better clarity. With the two records now. And follow this, inserting a record with ABC info solution and able info. Okay. So I have two contacts here. I have two contacts here. Okay. And now we're going to merge these three into one. Merge A1, A2. Follow this. Kept info solution. The contacts are copied. Check the recycle bin. The ABC info goes to the recycle bin. We will follow this. Is able to understand? Merge A1, A2. We will follow this. So it copied see this more than one variable. If you refer, go with the list, but list works in different way. Let me check these in offline and get back this how many records maximum you can do it. Okay, and merge is only working for it is available for it works only for account, lead, and contact. So merge will only work for three objects, not for every object. The merge statement is only going to work for three objects, not for all the objects. It will not support for all the objects. It's available only for lead, contact, and account. No other objects. You will follow this? Okay. And you can merge up to two additional object records. That's it. Two objects into one. Okay. So it means it stopped here. no more than, right? 2 into 1. So only 2 additional object records you can match. Will follow this? Okay, I'll upload some examples for your practice in my charter tab. So give me a time. Now I will update today my first half. You'll have examples in the charter tab for your practice. Okay.
Sir, in this last example, we are creating one account and a second account. For second account ID, we are passing to the one contact. By merging A1, comma A2 means second account contact records will be displayed as well as in first account.
Let me explain. Let me explain one minute. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to merge. Okay, I'm going to merge. So suppose this is referred by A1 and this record is referred by A2. Right. What I'm doing now, A1 space A2. I do this statement, A1, A2. So what's going to happen? What's going to happen here? Once you do this statement, then the master is TCS. The master is going to be TCS, which has contact 1, contact 2, contact 3. I would like to merge into 1 so that I do not want to lose the child record. I like to delete the duplicated record, but I do not want to lose the contacts because I feel like both the account are same, but I do not want to lose the contacts in that customer. So the contact needs to be copied to the merged one. The A1 is a master one, and okay, and the TCS limited will go to the recycle bin. It will be deleted. The record will be deleted, and the contacts will be copied. I do not lose the contact. The contacts goes to the master account that you refer to. That's what the merge is okay.
So to satisfy this condition, account name should be the same, right, sir?
Need not. That's what I'm saying. Account name is not same, right? It's not same. Need not. Whatever records you referred here in the merge statement, that will be copied to the. So we identify those are duplicated. We identify those are duplicated, and we merge the two records into one record, and we do not like lose the child records. So so merge statement will take care of copy the child records into your master record. That's it.
Okay, sir.
Okay, good with this, all of you. Right. Let me upload this, and I'll upload some exercise for a practice later. Okay, then see you all tomorrow. Take care. Bye.
Ranjit, Umar, Ahmed is